Welcome to Shad's Guitar Show. Whether it's the gear or the players who made the gear famous, join me each episode as we discuss all things guitar. Welcome back to Shad's Guitar Show for another mini episode where today we're diving into one of those vintage Fender topics that guitar collectors and enthusiasts love to debate. The difference between slab and veneer rosewood fretboards found on Fender guitars in the 1960s. So let's start at the beginning. In mid-1959, Fender introduced the Rosewood fretboard as an alternative to the one-piece maple neck. Leo Fender wanted to offer a neck that would hide finger wear better and appeal to players who preferred the darker look and feel of rosewood. The very first rosewood boards, used from mid-1959 until around the middle of 1962, are what collectors call slab boards. They're called slab boards because Fender used a relatively thick, flat-bottomed piece of Brazilian rosewood that was glued onto a maple neck. If you looked at the neck in a cross-section, you'd see a thick rectangular piece of rosewood sitting on top of the maple. Well, around 1962, Fender changed the design to what we now call the veneer board. Instead of using a thick, flat-bottomed piece of rosewood, Fender sliced a much thinner piece of Brazilian rosewood and curved the bottom of the board so that it matched the radius of the maple neck underneath it. That meant less rosewood was needed and there was less waste during production, a practical manufacturing improvement. From the top, the two necks can look nearly identical, but if you remove the neck and look closely at the side profile, the difference becomes very obvious. A slab board maintains nearly the same thickness across the neck, while a veneer board is noticeably thinner toward the edges because it follows the curve of the maple underneath. Well, now comes the big question. Do they sound different? Well, opinions vary. Some players believe slab board necks sound slightly warmer and fuller because there's more rosewood between the strings and the maple. Others feel veneer boards have a little more snap and brightness. In reality, the tonal difference, if there truly is one, is extremely subtle. Individual pieces of wood, pickups, hardware, and setup generally have much greater effect on a guitar's sound than the fretboard construction alone. What is certain, though, is that collectors value slab board Fenders because they were produced for only about 3 years. And if you find a Strat or Tele or Jazzmaster or even a Jaguar from that 1959 to mid-62 period with its original slab board intact, it's considered especially desirable. One interesting fact is that both slab and veneer boards during this era were made from Brazilian rosewood, a wood prized for its beautiful grain and rich appearance. Fender didn't begin transitioning away from Brazilian rosewood until the late 60s, after increasing restrictions and availability concerns. So if you're shopping for a vintage Fender, knowing whether it has a slab or veneer fretboard can help date the instrument and understand its place in Fender history. But when it comes to choosing between them, the best advice is simple. Play both if you can. The neck profile, weight, and overall feel of the guitar will likely make a much bigger difference than whether the rosewood is slab or veneer. And if you enjoyed this mini episode, please make sure and share it with a guitar-playing friend, and also leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening right now. It is incredibly helpful to the show. And when you're on YouTube next time, go over and subscribe to Shad's Guitar Show there and find some really cool content. And do the same on Instagram, following me at Shad's Guitar Show, where there's also some cool stuff to check out. And until next time, remember, the best guitar player is the one having the most fun.